everyone. So it is the calm before the storm. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and I am starting to lay out all of my serving dishes that I'm gonna need for tomorrow's meal. I wanna make sure that I have everything that I need like washed and prepped ahead of time. And I usually do this like the day before Thanksgiving, so that way I know I have everything all put together and ready to go, so I'm not searching for things last minute. We have a good crowd coming to our house. We actually have family coming tonight, so I wanted to spend most of today putting together everything and getting everything ready. So I'll kind of show you my system that I use when I'm prepping my serving dishes. Now, we're doing multiple recipes. We're gonna do a turkey, we're gonna do mashed potatoes and gravy, we're going to do a squash, we're gonna do sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, an extra stuffing, pearl onions, rolls and butter and cranberry sauce. And so I kind of make sure that I have everything ready for everything that we're cooking. So basically, I get out all of my serving dishes that I know I'm going to use, and I kind of figure out what's going to go in what dish. And then I lay everything all out, and I kind of label everything so that I know, if I need to find something else. Or sometimes I'll label stuff and realize that one dish might work better for something else. So this system just works really good for us. So over here, I have these two, they're oven safe baking dishes, and they're a good size dish. I got these from Home Goods. And so these ones right here are going to be our squash and mashed potato dishes. Now the squash and the mashed potatoes we boil ahead of time and we make ahead of time, and we'll put these in once it's done. We'll put them in the dishes and we'll cover them with aluminum foil and keep them warm in the oven. So I'm gonna use those two dishes for those two items. Then we have a green bean casserole. Now I have two of these larger baking dishes right here, and these are like a stoneware dish. And so I'm going to actually make the green bean casserole ahead of time and cover it and put it in the refrigerator. I'll probably do that tonight. And that way it's all ready to go to put in the oven once the turkey's done, because it doesn't need to cook for very long. So I decided to use these two baking dishes, one for the green bean casserole and one for the stuffing that gets baked outside of the bird. So we do stuffing inside the bird and outside the bird. And our family likes stuffing, so I want to make sure we have enough of it. So I'm going to use those two dishes. I also prepare whatever serving utensils I'm going to be using. I have quite a few serving utensils, and these ones happen to be my fall themed serving utensils with the pretty little leaves on them. So I kind of lay all of those out as well, so I know. Actually, this green bean casserole, I think I've got these mixed up. This is the one that I wanted for the green bean casserole, and this is the one that I wanted for the stuffing. So that's for those two items. Then over here I have my black and green olives. So I always put out black and green olives on my table, and since I'm using my pink depression glass for serving this year, I have a little container or a little serving dish for black olives and one for green olives. Then I'm going to be making a sweet potato casserole, and I'm also going to make that tonight and set it aside and cover it and then bake it tomorrow. I'll probably actually bake the sweet potatoes tonight and actually mash it up and everything and put it in the casserole dish tonight, and then I'll add the topping because I do a pecan and marshmallow topping. So I'll add the topping tomorrow before this goes in the oven. So I don't do a huge recipe of that because not everybody likes sweet potatoes in our family. So I'm going to use a smaller dish for that. And this is just a regular, actually these dishes right here I got from Home Goods as well. Actually no, I got these ones from TJ Maxx. I'm sorry. I got the smaller ones from Home Goods and the larger ones from TJ Maxx. And this dish right here, it came with a set, and I've had this for quite a few years. I actually have a little chip out of it, but it is a stoneware, glazed stoneware. It came with a square baker, a rectangular baker, and a round baker, and they all have lids as well. So I'll be using that for the sweet potato casserole. Then we like to put out lots of cranberry sauce. So I have 2 small serving bowls for cranberry sauce, and this is in my rose-colored glassware. Then I have to have a place for rolls, and I have these oval dishes right here. These are not safe for the oven, so I figured I'll bake the rolls on like a cookie sheet of some sort, and then I'll put them in here. I'll probably lay like a napkin or something in here before I put the rolls in, but I wanted a little bit larger of a dish to put the rolls in. So we've got that one. Then we have, I don't know if everybody is able to get these. I'll actually show you what they are. They're actually called turkey butters, and they're really popular here in New York. I never knew about them before we moved out here. We didn't have them in Massachusetts, but they're these little sculptured turkeys made out of butter. And so we place these on, I'm going to place those on that other dish that I had. And I thought that they were really festive and cute just to put out on the table for people to use for their rolls. So I have 2 of those. And they're in my freezer right now, just until tomorrow. I'll take them out and thaw them and let them get soft. Then we have the pearl onions that we're going to be making, and the pearl onions get made on the stove top, so I have this is an oven safe dish as well, so we can put the pearl onions in here, and if we need to keep it warm in the oven until it's ready to serve, this is okay to do so. So we've got that one. I actually have another spare little oval bowl right here. Not sure what I'm going to use it for or if we're going to need to use it, but sometimes things pop up where we need an extra bowl of some sort. So I did pull an extra spare bowl out. Then we have our turkey platter. So this is the platter that we're going to actually have the carved turkey on. Now we usually put the turkey on a large cutting board like this once it's done, and Sean will carve it and put all the meat. He separates the light meat from the dark meat on the platter so that we have just a platter with the meat to pass around at Thanksgiving. So I also have my carving knife and carving fork and a serving fork as well for the turkey. And then we have our gravy boats. Now I have 2 gravy boats. I like to keep 2 going because everybody always runs out of the gravy really quickly. So I find if you use one on one side of the table and one on the other, it just helps things out a little bit. And I have these really pretty ladles that it's sometimes easier just to scoop the gravy out rather than pouring it. So I put those in there just for an option to scoop rather than pour. Sometimes when it's really full, it's hard to pour. So I have 2 of those. And those 2 I got from Home Goods as well. The platter right here, I believe, came from Kohl's maybe? I've had this for quite a while. I think it came from Kohl's a few years ago. And this one right here came from either Home Goods or TJ Maxx. Most of my stuff I get from either Home Goods or TJ Maxx. So once, I've got pretty much everything laid out for the items that I'm going to be serving, then I kind of prep my cooking items, which I've got over here set up and kind of ready to go. We'll start boiling potatoes and squash. We usually use these are the Le Creuset stock pots. They're the largest ones that they have. I really like them. We've used them once before for a big meal, and they work out really handy. So I have 2 of those so that I can do like potatoes at once and squash at the same time. Then we have an extra pan out here. I do have another pot very similar to this one that we're probably going to be cooking something over here with, but we have like the pearl onions that we need to cook on the stove top like this, and also the gravy will be made from the drippings from the turkey, but he'll probably use a small saucepan, which I have a small Le Creuset saucepan that he'll probably use. And Sean does all of our cooking for the most part. I will do like the baking and the prep and stuff like that, but for the most part he does all of the cooking. So then I just put my utensils and everything that we're gonna need right here next to the stove so that they're all ready to go. And so it makes everything nice and easy. I also like to have a couple of dish towels ready to go, and so I've got a couple of dish towels washed and ready to go. I actually used one because I was drying off some of the dishes, because I make sure everything's clean today as well. I clean everything and go over everything and make sure it's all, you know, ready for tomorrow. I also have the iPad up against the backsplash because we use the iPad for all of our recipes. For the most part, we know all of these recipes by heart, but in case there's something that we need to look up or whatever, I like to keep the iPad handy. So we have that there. And we also have the KitchenAid mixer right over here, because that's how I do all of my mashed potatoes and squash. So I keep my KitchenAid mixer handy so I can just pull it out and whip up the mashed potatoes and whip up the squash and whip up the sweet potatoes. So that makes it super easy. I've used this for years. Sean actually gave me this KitchenAid mixer for our very first anniversary. And so it's almost 15 years old, because we've been together 15 years. So, but I use that every single year. I don't know what I would do without it. And then I like to keep some dish towels handy right near the sink as well, so that way when it comes time to, you know, wash stuff and reuse it, there's some dish towels handy. And so I just like to have everything prepped and ready to go. The one thing I don't have out here right now is we have our large turkey roasting pan, which it's so big I didn't really want to keep it on the counter because it takes up a lot of room, and we still have a lot of stuff to do today. I've got fudge to make, I've got a pie to make, I'm making a trifle. So I'm doing a lot of stuff today, so I kind of need to, you know, have access to my countertops. And then also I make sure I have a pot holder ready so that, you know, we're pulling things on and off the oven and out of the oven and off the stove. I want to make sure that we have our pot holder handy and ready to go. And so yeah, so this is basically how I do my prep. From here, I'm actually going to go out into my dining room. I'm not going to do it right this minute because I haven't done it yet, but I kind of wanted to just show you guys. This is like my first step of the whole Thanksgiving prep process. From here, I'm going to go out into my dining room, and I'm actually going to start getting all of my place settings out for all of the people. Now, I know I have my dining room already set up. I have it set up for a service of 6 right now. So I have it set up for a service of 6. I'm actually going to be rearranging this a little bit because I'm going to be adding quite a few more place settings. I also add a table for, we have 4 kids. Well, one of them is Alyssa, is a teenager, so she probably will sit with her little cousin. We have another table that we set out. We usually put the 2 high chairs. We have a high chair for Jameson and a high chair for my nephew Maxwell, and we'll probably put those in the corner over there. So I'm going to be, you know, setting the table for a larger group. And so, you know, I'll probably come in here and do that next, just to make sure that it's all set and ready to go, because this is one less thing that I'll have to do tomorrow when I'm busy helping Sean cook and you know, visiting with family and all of that. So that is my prep for Thanksgiving. I hope it was a little bit helpful to you guys. If you guys want to leave me a comment, please do so in the comment section below. I'm also going to try to do, I actually have one more video that I believe I'm going to post today. I'm not obviously going to be posting anything tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving, but I have another video that I'm going to be posting today, and it's going to be about my Christmas card swap and holiday giveaway. So make sure you check out that other video. I'm going to try to post these right around the same time, but I'll put the link in the description below. And vice versa, I'll put the link to this one in that video as well, so they kind of go together. But I hope you guys all have a great holiday, and I will see you again on probably Friday or Saturday. I know we're going Black Friday shopping on Friday, but yeah, I will have more DIY videos and how-to videos coming up, and I hope you guys all have a very happy Thanksgiving.